Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Payevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So welcome everyone to our study of Nectar of Instruction for the Bhakti Sastri. This is our third class. And this evening we're going to go on to text number 4. I have a PowerPoint. I'll share the screen. Are you able to see it?
Yes, Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Good. Okay, so lesson 3, 6 kinds of loving exchange based on Upadeshamrita text 4. First of all, revision, just to refresh. We talked about the 6 favorable and 6 unfavorable activities or attitudes. All right, you all remember these, I hope. These are the memorization verses. Atyahara prayashascha, like that, and utsahannischa yaddaryat, these things. So, Hare Krishna. Wrong thing come up. Then we spoke about Prabhupada's mood in adjusting religious principles in relation to niyamagraha. We had examples, right? For neglecting or going against a lower principle for a higher principle. That is a proper mood. The higher principle is preaching and giving Krishna consciousness. And the lower principle is some ritual, some rule or some regulation. Right? We had Prabhupada approved of men and women working together in Krishna consciousness. Although usually a brahmachari is not supposed to see women. But then it would be very difficult to get men to join at all if there were no women. There'd be very few people coming. So for the sake of expanding the Krishna consciousness movement and expanding the preaching, the women were also allowed. And that was a success. Prabhupada had success where others who strictly followed, who were very strict about the brahmachari, they didn't have the same success. They didn't get people. Okay, and then plans for applying points relevant for them. I hope you've got some points. Maybe you want to increase your hearing and chanting. Maybe you want to become more enthusiastic. I hope you all be enthusiastic. We give more importance to enthusiasm than to patience. Sometimes people are too patient. We want to be enthusiastic and eager for Krishna consciousness. Are there any questions on these things? Did anybody have any questions from the last class? Everybody's okay, huh? Okay. Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, I'm not hearing you. You don't have any questions at all, huh? No problems. Okay. Then we'll go ahead. Let's see. All right. Who knows? Who's memorized text number 1? Somebody can recite.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Can I, Maharaj?
All right.
Sloka by one para Prabhuji, Maharaj, or fully Maharaj?
I will repeat after you.
Okay, Maharaj. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam.
Vacho vegam
Manasa Krodha Vegam.
Jiva vegam udaropastha vegam.
Jiva Vegam Udarusta Vegam.
Etan vegan yo vishayadira.
Etan veda yo
Vishahayatira.
veshvadira.
Sarvam apimam prativimsha shishyat.
Sarvam Apimam Pratvim Sasishyat.
All right. Translation.
A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the action of anger, and the urge of the tongue, belly, and the genitals, is qualified to make a disciple all over the world.
Right? Vegas. The Vegas, right? The urges. We have to control these urges. So you're supposed to write your essay on this first text, right? The first question.
Yes, Maharaj.
I think it's the first question. Anyway, dealing with controlling these different urges and how you're controlling, how well you're succeeding. What are your challenges? What difficulties you have? Okay, going ahead. Text number 2. Someone can chant.
Atyahara prayasascha
Atyahara prayascha
prajalpo niyamagraha
prajalpo niyamagraha
jana sangascha laulyam cha
jana sangascha laulyam cha
shadbir bhaktir vinashyati.
shadbir
Vinashyati.
So one of the questions which we have in our, for the closed book, it said, name 3 kinds of achaharis. Have somebody knows the answer? You remember the answer? 3 kinds of achaharis mentioned in the purport.
Eating more than necessary, over endeavoring, and talking unnecessarily.
No, wrong. Three kinds of achaharis Prabhupada mentions specifically in the purport. No, you haven't answered these questions yet? You're all waiting till the end. You know, the closed book questions for text number 2. If you look at your questions there.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaji.
I remember one that human beings and animals, difference between human beings and animal. If there are 10 rice bags, one human will collect all, but birds will not collect whatever their quota is. They will collect that much. That Atyahara example is.
That's not the answer though to the question.
Okay, Maharaj.
No, if you read the purport, you'll see Prabhupada mentions, he mentions Bhukti Kami, Mukti Kami, and Siddhi Kami. Right? Those are the 3 kinds of three achaharis mentioned. Right? Does anybody agree with me on that?
Yes, Maharaj.
I didn't make these questions. I'm just going through them. I just was looking through them and checking the answers. What about 2 meanings of Niyamagraha? Oh, well, that's pretty obvious, right? We did that. 3 miseries. Mahatma, Duratma. What's a Mahatma? Mahatma means?
Broad-minded person.
Some great soul, Maharaj.
Yes, so what does he do? Define him. What will be his activities?
Activities will be to remember Krishna, to worship Lord, to everything he does for Krishna.
Yeah, you know the verse in the Bhagavad Gita Prabhupada quoted about the Mahatmas?
Mahatmas
Mahatmanastu Mam Bharta.
Yes.
9.30.
So what's he doing? What's the Mahatma doing?
He actually satisfies the senses of the Lord.
Yes.
How? You know, they ask us to define the Mahatma. I want to know what he does. You can't just say he satisfies the senses of the Lord. You have to say how he satisfies the senses of the Lord.
Nice.
By engaging fully in devotional service.
Yeah. So what does he do? That's a very general description you've given. How does it describe? How is he described in the Bhagavad Gita?
No, it's the Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maharaj.
Well, that's not specifically what's mentioned there in the Bhagavad Gita. What, you know, if you know the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said,
Maharaj, it is broad-minded.
huh?
Broad-minded.
No.
He's
Satatam kitayanto mam yatantasya dradavrata namashyantasya mam bhaktya nitya yukta pasyate.
He's already situated in higher consciousness.
Satatam.
No, but these are not correct ways to answer this question. You have to describe specifically what he's doing.
Mahatma is always engaged in chanting the holy name of the Lord.
Right, he's chanting the glory, the holy name of the Lord, chanting the glory, always chanting my glories.
With determination.
Endeavoring with determination. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Right? You have to quote, you should be able to quote Bhagavad Gita, really. What about Duratma then? How do you define the Duratma?
Fallen soul, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Fallen soul.
Fallen souls.
Engaged in sense gratification.
Yes, engaged
They
in
are,
sense.
they are mainly Maharaj, the Duratma, and they're cripple minded. And always they are in the external potency of Lord, which is Mahamaya.
Okay, yes. They're under the control of the external potency. They're in the modes of passion and ignorance.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
So that is that, yes, a Duratma.
Okay, then going on to text, let's see, that's text number 2, right? So who knows the translation? Anybody memorized the translation yet? Oh, you can read?
Once devotional,
Yes. Yes, go ahead, Mataji. Yes.
one's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities: eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, and being greedy for mundane achievements.
Right. In relation to Niyamagraha, remember we gave the example about Lord Chaitanya's servant.
Uh,
You remember, Mataji?
yes, Maharaj.
What happened?
uh, he actually stepped on Mahaprabhu and to do massage to his feet, Mahaprabhu's.
He
Lost.
Haribol, Maharaj.
Gopal.
Can I add Maharaj?
No, you just wait a minute. He stepped over him, right?
Yes,
Mataji?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Stepped
And
over.
he gave him massage. And then afterwards, what happened?
Then afterwards, he actually waited. He didn't go. He didn't want to again step over Mahaprabhu because that comes like his for his sense satisfaction.
Right. Yes, right. Okay, that's good. So it's accepting, breaking the lower principle for the higher principle, right?
Yes, Maharaj.
Lower principle was, what was the lower principle there?
Stepping over.
Right, right. That's he stepped over him. That was the lower principle. But the higher principle was
Doing service, massaging Mahaprabhu's feet.
personal service, right?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, going ahead, text number 3.
Maharaj, here I have a question.
Yes.
Maharaj, just now you said like giving Maharaj Chaitanya Mahaprabhu massage at a higher. For my understanding, higher is like when his consciousness, he doesn't want to have prasad while stepping Mahaprabhu and go his own, fulfilling his own sense or his gratification. I think that is the higher than giving massage to Mahaprabhu, because he realized that he cannot do it for his own benefit.
Okay, that's your idea. I don't agree. Okay, text number 3. Someone chant,
Can I, Maharaj?
please.
Utsa nishchaya dhairyad tattat karma pravakshanad sangatyagas taturate
Sangarvasyasato vrate
Tadbir bhakti prasiddhati.
Tadbir bhakti prasiddhati.
Yes, translation. Read the translation.
There are 6 principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service. First, being enthusiastic. Second is endeavoring with the confidence. Third one is being patient. Fourth is acting according to the regulative principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, the hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. The fifth one is abandoning the association of non-devotees, and sixth one is following in the footstep of the previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assures the complete success of pure devotional service. Hare Krishna
All right.
Maharaj.
Okay, and looking at our questions, text number 3, one of the questions is, what is the meaning of Avashya Rakshabe Krishna? It should be easy for you. You're all speaking Hindi or something. Avashya Rakshabe Krishna, meaning?
Certainly Krishna. Certainly
Yes.
Krishna protect.
One person. Yes, Prabhu.
Avashya means surely, definitely, always Krishna will protect us.
Yes, under the protection of Krishna, right?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, and then another question, 2 aspects of Tat Karma Pravartanat. 2 aspects, Tat Karma Pravartanat.
Yama Niyama, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaji, what?
Yama Niyama.
So Yama is what? What's the aspect? You have to explain. You know, you can't just say Yama and Niyama. You have to explain what you mean.
Prohibitions, things proposed not to be done.
Huh?
Things proposed not to be done.
So how does it apply in Krishna consciousness?
Following 4 regulatory principles.
What? Is that Niyama or Yama?
Yama.
4 regulatory principles, Maharaj.
Right. First of all, Yama, no meat, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. Yama is things which have to be given up, things you can't do, right? And then the niyam, the things you have to do. What do you have to do?
Chanting, hearing.
16 rounds, Maharaj.
Yes, right. You have to worship Krishna, read the books about Krishna.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we'll go ahead. Text number 4. 6 loving exchanges. Someone read the verse.
Dadati pratigranati.
Dadati pratiganati.
Guhyam akhyati prachati.
Guhyam agyati prachati.
Bhukte bhojayate chaiva.
Bhukte bhojayate chaiva.
Shadvidham priti lakshanam.
Shadvidham priti lakshanam.
Okay, translation.
Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasada, and offering prasada are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another devotee.
Okay, so Sadvidam Priti Lakshanam, symptoms of love. All right, very nice, very important in our Krishna consciousness movement, these kind of loving exchanges. Okay, so not very difficult here. First of all, accepting charity, giving charity and accepting charity. Giving charity, sometimes it can be complicated. I was just reading a book yesterday. One of my godbrothers, he's a scholarly devotee. He completed his PhD in Oxford on Asian studies. So he wrote a book about cows and cow protection and things. And he was describing how in the Vedas, there's rules about who you can give cows in charity to, and very high standards to who you can give charity. You want to give cows away in charity, the person must be qualified to receive them. So giving charity, we see also in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes charity in the modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance, right? Sometimes people give charity in ignorance. You give it to someone who's a drunkard. He goes and buys alcohol or buys drugs or something with the money. People give charity sometimes to get name and fame. That's charity in the mode of passion. Or they give to get more back. But charity in the mode of goodness is done without any expectation of anything in return. And it should be done to a qualified person in a proper place. Now, Brahmanas have 6 qualities. 6 items of work, things which they're allowed to do. Brahmanas usually, they're not supposed to work in the service of anyone, but they can teach. They can teach to worship the deity, and they can also worship the deity themselves, and they can teach scriptures, and they also study scriptures. And they can accept charity, and they can give charity. It is sometimes said in the Kali Yuga today, Brahmanas are good in only one of the 6 things. It's not difficult to guess which one they're good at, right?
Yes.
Which one do you think it is, Mataji?
Taking charity, Maharaj.
Right, yeah. Good at accepting. And Brahmanas, you're supposed to accept. When the devotees came to India, they were doing Sankirtan, and they would go out sometimes in the mornings, it's quite cold, and they would go out and Sankirtan, and people would come and they would want to give them cloth and things like that. And devotees would refuse it. And Prabhupada would chastise them and say, no, you have to take. He said it's a duty of the Brahmana to accept. So he said, even though you don't want it, you have to accept. And you can accept it, and you can always give it away later to someone else. But it's not polite if you don't accept what's offered. This is a rule of etiquette. Then, Guyama Kyati Prichati, inquiring confidentially and revealing our mind in confidence. Guyam, confidential, right? Raja Guyam, Bhagavad Gita, and Prichati, Pariprashna, Tadvadi Pranipadena Pariprashnena. So Prichati, inquiring. This is the business of devotees when they come together, inquiring and discussing these confidential topics. Confidential topics means in relation to Krishna. and devotional service. Then, the nice part, Bhukti Bhojayate Chaiva. We give prasadam and we accept prasadam. So these are the loving exchanges. We're going to look at these things. We'll explain them in some detail now. Someone please read.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. In the previous verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advised that one should renounce worldly association and keep company with the devotees. Sangat Tyagat Satovrata. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate these 6 kinds of loving exchanges between the devotees. Nectar of Instruction, Text 4, Purport, page 40. Haribol.
Sangat Tyagat. Give up the association of materialistic people, and Satovrite. Follow in the footsteps. People, we saw in the last class, Satovrite, Prabhupada explained, to be straightforward, not duplicitous. To practice what we preach, not to say one thing and do another. Please read.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabhu Naya Shravanandi Suddha Chitte Karaye Uddhaya. Pure love of Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of the living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, this love naturally awakens.
So, can we expect to find love of Krishna in the hearts of the animals?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes.
Right? Is it in the love of Godhead in the trees?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj.
Hi, how are you? Yes.
What about the insects? The cockroaches? The ants?
Yes, Maharaj.
You know, you have to ask people in your house to be quiet when we have class. If you're going to have your mic on, you just ask other people in the house to keep quiet. Or you go in the room, close the door. All right, love of Krishna is there in the hearts of every living entity. It is an important principle for our Krishna consciousness movement. What's the principle? How do we awaken that love?
By chanting the name, doing Sankirtan.
Yeah, by giving people the chance to hear
Yes.
and teaching them to chant. Then this love awakens. So we want to take advantage of this to give Krishna consciousness, distribute it to everyone. Please read.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Since Krishna consciousness is inherent in every living entity, everyone should be given a chance to hear about Krishna. Nectar of Instructions, text 4, purport.
Of course, not everybody wants to hear. Right? Some people, and we heard also there's some people are, you know, blasphemers. We want to get away from them. If sometimes we'll hear, there are some people, if we try to talk about Krishna, they become more offensive. And so it's our duty to avoid them, to neglect them, to stay away from them. Please read.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Guhyam Akhyati Prachyati principle. One should inquire about the Krishna consciousness movement and open his mind in order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus, the Guhyam Akhyati Prachyati principles can be served. Nectar of Instruction, text 4, purport, page 43.
So, this is the business of devotees, to inquire and to explain, to discuss the scriptures, to discuss the situation, the problems in the material world in relation to Krishna. The whole Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is all questions and answers. Questions and answers. So we also have to, we want to inquire, we want to understand. If we've understood something, we should explain it to others. Here you can see Sanatana Goswami approaching Lord Chaitanya and how he approached Lord Chaitanya. Someone read? Bengali Prabhu can read?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, read.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Evoking Krishna consciousness Gyam Akraprate principle. Ke ami keno amai jare tapatraya re nahi jani kamone hita hoya. Who am I? Why do the threefold miseries always give me trouble? If I do not know this, how can I be benefited? Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhyalila 20:102.
Yes, Sanatan Goswami came to meet Lord Chaitanya in Benares. And this is how he inquired. Of course, Sanatana Goswami knew this, but he wanted to hear Lord Chaitanya. He wanted Lord Chaitanya to explain to him. So this is the principle. Approach someone and try to hear. Please read.
The life of the Krishna consciousness, the life Krishna consciousness society is nourished by the 6 types of loving actions among the members. Therefore, people must be given the chance to associate with the devotees of ISKCON, because simply by reciprocating in the 6 ways mentioned above, an ordinary man can revive his dormant Krishna consciousness. Nectar of Instruction, text 4, purport, page 40. Very well.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
So this is how devotees associate together with each other through these different types of loving exchanges. Just like we have in the temple every Sunday, we have, well, maybe in Bahrain you have on Friday, of course, you have your Friday program, and different festivals are celebrated. Different sometimes you go out, outreach, go to visit other places and give Krishna consciousness. Trying to awaken Krishna consciousness. Right? Someone read? Can you read it?
Hare Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita 2.62, it is stated, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha, one's desires and ambitions develop according to the company one keeps. Nectar of Instruction, text 4, purport, page 41.
Do you know this verse in the Bhagavad Gita? Sangat Sanjayate Kama.
Can I tell, Maharaj?
Yes?
Can I? Sangat Sanjayate Kama, Kama Krodho Vijayate, Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha, Sammoha Smriti Vibhrama, Smriti Vanshad Buddhi Nasho, Buddhi Nasho Pranashyati.
Yes, translation.
It's like by the first line is of course like, but Sangat Sanjayate Kama starts is like, the moment after these are the 8 stages of fall down of a devotee, where contemplating on the objects, one develops the love for it, the lust arises, and when
Yes.
lust is,
Yeah, that's the point. Sangat Sanjayate Kama, right? From association, develop lust. While contemplating the objects of the senses, one becomes attached, and from such attachment, lust develops. So Prabhupada just took the one line, Sangat Sanjayate Kama. It's interesting. He just took one line and he says, desires and ambitions develop according to the company we keep. So we hope you have good association and good ambitions and good desires, and will help us. But usually, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is talking about the fall down. But here Prabhupada is not talking so much about fall down. He's talking about awakening, coming to Krishna consciousness. So the company is important, the association. Someone please read.
Dandapana Maharaj. Dadati principle. According to Vedic literature, it is enjoined that charity should be given to the Brahmanas. Why? Because they are engaged in higher cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Bhagavad Gita 10.43 purport. Hare Krishna.
So generally charity should be given to the Brahmanas because they're expected to know how to use the wealth. They know how to use it for something worthwhile, something good for the society. You can continue reading, Prabhu.
According to the 4 divisions of Varna and Ashram, Kshatriya and Vaisyas are specially advised to perform great ceremonial sacrifices and to distribute their accumulated money very liberally. Hare Krishna.
Right, the Kshatriyas. Kshatriya means the big managers, the kings, the politicians, these people. And the Vaishyas, the businessmen, got their businesses. So making money, so they're meant to distribute also. And they're meant to perform nice sacrifices, do yagyas. And if they give charity, then it's good for them. Just like in the past, there were kings like Janaka Maharaj, and he used to give a lot of charity. All right, someone else read.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Now suppose if there are 100% in a society, 25 students, 25 retired life, and 25% sannyasa, renounced order of life. Now out of the 100 persons, 75% they are engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord. The rest 25% who are grahasthas, they are meant for sacrificing 50% of their income for their 75%. That is the whole program of Varnashrama Dharma. That is a kind of spiritual communism. Spiritual communism.
So we're looking at this Dadati principle. Dadati meaning the giving of charity. So Prabhupada is taking an ideal situation. You never find it like this, but if there were, if somehow there's 100 people, 25% student, 25% retired, 25 sannyasi. So out of these 100, they're meant all the others. Spiritual communism means what? We studied this in Ishopanishad. Yes?
Spiritual communism means the Gruhastha gives his money for the welfare of the society and the guru and commune in which they are living. He is supplying all living material requirements to all the group of people, and other people do their duties.
No, that's not. I don't think that's spiritual. How did we define spiritual communism? Someone else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes?
Grahastha has to support all the three varnas, like brahmachari,
That's not
vanaprastha and
spiritual communism. Spiritual communism means what?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Danda Pranam.
Yes?
This spiritual communism means the entire spiritual philosophy, the science of Krishna is for the entire humanity.
Yeah.
Prabhupada Maharaj
Everything
means.
belongs to Krishna, right?
Yes, Maharaj.
In the material communism, everything belongs to the state, to the government.
Yes, Maharaj.
Right? But in spiritual communism, everything belongs to Krishna. That's the point. Okay. So, read more. Person who was reading, keep reading.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. For spiritual advancement of a society, the whole social order is so arranged that 75% of people, they are engaged in the matter of spiritual advancement of knowledge, and 25% of the population, those who are earning, those who in family life, those who have got factories, business, and so many things, they should sacrifice 50% of their income for these 75% people who are engaged in spiritual emancipation. Hare Krishna.
Yes, this Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita lecture, New York City. Right? Prabhupada's explaining how the society should be organized like this. The big making money, and they should have money, right? Then how you can do this? Of course, this is for people who have a lot of money. So they should give 50% of their income. But the 75% people who are engaged in spiritual practice, they also have to live simply. They cannot be extravagant. They have to live simply. They have to live very basically. They can't be, big, going around shopping, spending everything. They have to live very basic, natural, depending on Krishna and minimizing demands of the body. Someone please read.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. In the brahmachari life, the training is sufficiently imparted so that one may understand that the world as property belongs to the Supreme Lord. No one therefore can claim to be the proprietor of anything in the world. Therefore, in the life of a householder, which is a sort of license for sex enjoyment, one must give in charity for the service of the Lord. Everyone's energy is generated or borrowed from the reservoir of energy of the Lord. Therefore, the resultant actions of such energy must be given to the Lord in the shape of transcendental loving service for Him. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.27 purport.
Okay. So the idea, everyone should do some service for Krishna. Everyone's energy is borrowed. Therefore, the resultant actions of such energy should be given. All right? People don't have money, they should give their time. They should do service by giving time in the service of Krishna. Come to temple and do service that way. But Somehow we should make some sacrifice for the service of the Lord. This is the principle. Someone please read.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. In this fallen age of quarrel and dissension, if only the leading and wealthy persons of society agree to spend 50% of their income in the service of the Lord, as it is taught by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is absolute certainty of converting this hell of pandemonium to the transcendental abode of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.36 purport. Hare Krishna.
So it's important to get the support of the leaders, right? The leading and wealthy people. They have to agree. That's another thing. You have to get them to agree to give 50% for the service of the Lord. We do have some very nice examples in our Krishna consciousness movement, right? We have Ambarish Prabhu, and there Gopal Krishna Maharaj. He has people like in Delhi. One man in Delhi is a very big businessman, and he helping him a lot to build temples there. There are some good examples. Please read.
When everyone is to sacrifice 50% of his accumulated gold for the God's service, certainly austerity, cleanliness, and mercy automatically ensue. And thus the last three legs of the personality of religion are automatically established.
So it mentions accumulated gold, right? So if you're keeping a lot of gold, then it's good to, you give half of it. Because if you have too much gold, what's the problem? Problem is
Kali Yuga.
sinful activities will come. You won't want to practice austerity. You won't be clean or merciful. You'll be thinking more about sense gratification. So that's why it's always good. You sacrifice your excess, sacrifice 50% of your accumulated wealth for Krishna. And then you can't think so much about material enjoyment. So here's the question. We want, the Dati principle is giving. What do we have to give? What's our biggest gift?
Krishna consciousness.
How are you going to give it?
By preaching.
Oh, really? How are you going to preach?
Yeah. Here in Bahrain, we conduct Bhakti marriage.
How are you going to preach?
Here we conduct Bhakti Ruksha's marriage weekly once. So we'll sit together and we read Bhagavad Gita.
How many people come?
8 to 10 marriage.
It's not much charity.
Do prasad.
Huh?
Do prasadam then, offer prasadam and distribute prasadam.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, during the occasions, Maharaj, yes.
Did the Arabs take?
Maharaj, to the devotees only.
Maharaj.
To devotees only, Maharaj.
Devotees only?
Yeah, and devotees are in general, but not in general. Not yet given, Maharaj. I have.
Hare Krishna.
Gifting
Hare Krishna,
Bhagavad
Maharaj. Books also. Prabhupada books or like Bhagavad Gita distribution.
Okay. Yeah, Have you distributed some? Are you distributing some books?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj.
What do? Give them free?
Yes.
Okay. Arabic?
Yeah, Arabic also.
Good. Yeah. We have a lot of that. We have a lot of books. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you'd like to give?
Maharaj, temples, Prabhupada has given us Krishna conscious temples everywhere. We will not miss temples wherever we go. That is the biggest gift.
I don't know. There's a lot of places where there are no temples.
Oh.
Our biggest gift. Read.
Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is the sublime example of contributing or giving charity, the Dadati principle. Nectar of Instruction, text 4, purport, page 43.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
And give the holy name. Very powerful. Everybody likes the holy name. Well, not everybody, but many people like. If you get them in the right mood, they like the holy name. They make programs, kirtan programs. You can do public kirtan. It's very good. Give the holy name to people, let them hear. Sometimes people walk around, you know, they have their handphones, and when the handphone goes off, then the mantra comes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You know, it's very good. Let people hear the holy name. When you go for a walk, take a chanting box with you. Let people hear the holy name. It's the best charity. Gives us a taste of the full nectar for which we are always anxious, Lord Chaitanya says. So we try to give that kind of charity to people. Okay, here's a letter from Srila Prabhupada to all the temple presidents. Can someone read?
Pranam Maharaj. Please accept my blessings. Now you must arrange in each temple. There must be sufficient stock of prasadam for distribution. You can keep first-class cooks, 2 or 3, and they should be always engaged. Whenever any guest comes, he must get prasad. This arrangement must be made that the cooks prepare 10-20 servings at a time of puris and sabji, and you can add halwa and pakora, and visitors must be supplied immediately. Whenever a gentleman comes, he must be served. As the 20 servings are being distributed, immediately the cooks prepare another 20 servings and store it. At the end of the day, if no one comes, our own man will take, so there is no loss. You cannot say it is finished. It is not cooked yet. There is no supply for cooking, etc. This must be enforced rigidly. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Keep reading.
The temple is managed by Srimati Radharani, Lakshmi ji. So why should there be want? Our philosophy is, if anyone comes, let him take prasad, chant Hare Krishna, and be happy. Everything is being supplied by Krishna. Krishna is not poor. So why we should deny them? This should be done at any cost. There is no difficulty. It simply requires nice management. At the end of the day, you may sell or give away. If we believe that Krishna is providing and maintaining everyone, then why should we be misers? This means losing faith in Krishna and thinking that we are the doers and suppliers. We are confident Krishna will supply. Let the whole world come, we can feed them. So please do this nicely, being at once. Hoping this meets you all in good health. Your ever well-wisher, Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj. Prabhupada ki jai.
So this was 1977, January, the year Prabhupada left the body. This was like, you know, it's a very important instruction Prabhupada gave before he left the world. He wanted that we would distribute prasadam very nicely. He didn't, of course, especially people come to the temple, they should get prasadam. Here's another Prabhupada Leela about the Dadati principle. Someone can read?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Upendra, someone reminded me that I should go upstairs and give Swamiji an offering. So I decided to give him a baby blanket and a beach towel. It wasn't that I lacked money, but these things had some sentimental value to me. So I wanted to give them to Swamiji. I went upstairs to give to his room, and he was sitting at the at the foot of his mattress. I came in and bowed down and presented him with the baby blanket and beach towel. He held them up in his fingers and looked at them both in each of his hands. He said, "These things are useless," and I tossed them down on the floor. I was hurt, and I had nothing to say. I just sat there. After a while, I excused myself and I went back to my apartment.
Yes.
The next day, I went to see Swamiji during his evening visiting time, and he had the beach towel and baby blanket out on the floor like a rug so that his guests who came to visit could have something to sit on. I felt satisfaction that he had found some use for my offerings from Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita.
So sometimes like that, you know. Upendra, he was that was very early in the movement. He was actually one of Prabhupada's servants. He became one of Prabhupada's servants. So he's describing when he got initiation, he gave Prabhupada these gifts. And Prabhupada told him these are useless. But then later on, he used them. So sometimes like that. Please read.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. When everyone is taught to sacrifice 50% of his accumulated gold for the Lord's service, certainly austerity, cleanliness, and mercy automatically ensue. And thus the last three legs of the personality of religion are automatically established. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.17.42 purport. Hare Krishna.
So austerity, cleanliness, and mercy. They're the ones affected. Keeping too much gold. So good to give your wealth to Krishna. Okay, so that was the Dadati principle. Now we're going to look at Pratigrinati. Dadati was giving charity. Sometimes difficult to give and to know who to give it to, or what's the right thing to give. One pastime I heard about Prabhupada was in the train, and there were some beggars out. There was a beggar outside, and so he was coming by the train window, and he saw Prabhupada with his Western disciples sitting there. So he held out his hand and asking Prabhupada to give bakshish, give him a donation. So Prabhupada got some, few rupees and tossed it to him. And the beggar looked at it and thought, only a few rupees, No, he wasn't satisfied. But Prabhupada said to him, he said, "You're a beggar." He said, "You're a beggar. I'm not going to give you a big amount of money." So, according to the time, the place and circumstance. And similarly, Bhakti Saraswati, he had chastised his disciples that they were coming to Mayapur and they were not giving charity. They were not giving anything to the beggars. And Bhakti Saraswati told them, he said, when you come to the holy Dham, you should give something. You have to give some charity to these beggars. That these beggars are sitting there at the gates of the temple, you should give them something. Because they're pious, that they've come there, they're sitting there in the holy place, and they're waiting to get some charity. You're expected to give something. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati criticized his disciples because they were not giving. When I got initiation, I got initiation from Prabhupada. We were many. We were about 15 of us all got initiation. And what happened was, it was 1971. And after the initiation, Prabhupada complained to the temple president. He said, you know, I gave all these people initiation. None of them gave me any dakshin. And the temple president said, Prabhupada, they don't have anything. You know, we were all full-time devotees and the temple was struggling to maintain. We were in a rented house. And so we were just living from day to day. We'd sell some books and somehow maintain the temple. And so, but I mean, Prabhupada didn't make a big issue out of it. Later that day, we went on Sankirtan and we distributed books, and whatever collection we got, we gave it to Prabhupada. But it wasn't much. We didn't have much. So, and similarly, Bhakti Charuswami also described a similar thing, that when he got initiated, also he told Prabhupada, he said, I'm sorry, Prabhupada, I don't have any money to give you. And Prabhupada told him, he said, that's all right, you're giving your life. So if you give your life, then you're not expected to give something. So those are some points about the Dadati principle. Now, Pratigrinati, expertise in the Pratigrinati principle. Someone can read?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further the Krishna consciousness movement. Nectar of Instruction, Text 4, Purport, page 45.
Could you explain this, Maraji? Why does one have to be advanced to utilize everybody's contribution? What do you think, Manaji? Why would you need to be advanced?
The end use of the purpose should be known, Maharaj. Like,
sorry?
Whatever things are being utilized, the end purpose of that should be known to him. That be advanced.
I don't understand what you mean.
We are selfish by nature, and so we may be tempted to use that fund for the self, and it may not be utilized fully for the Krishna consciousness movement.
That's right. Yes. We may allow our own material desires to influence how we use the money, what's meant for Krishna consciousness. So you have to be very careful. So that's why temples, usually the money is not in the hands of just one person. There should be 3 signers on every check. the bank account, the joint bank account, like that. Not that everything's just based on one person. Please read.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
There are
Yes.
6 kinds of association: giving charity, accepting food, offering food, talking confidentially, and inquiring confidentially. One should very carefully avoid associating with both the Sahajiyas, who are sometimes known as Vaishnava, and the non-Vaishnavas or Avaishnavas.
So what's that Sahajya? Do you know? Explain more.
They imitate to be an advanced devotee.
There was Hare Krishna Maharaj. There was a group of people following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's principle, but they were not very disciplined people.
Okay. Yes.
They were in 16th or 17th century. They were quite popular in Bengal.
What did they do?
They are very casual, and they were making it as an entertainment. Krishna consciousness was an entertainment for them.
Krishna consciousness was an entertainment for them. Right. Yeah, they practiced Krishna consciousness. They would do chanting, but they would also have some illicit or immoral activities. Maybe there'd be smoking, maybe there'd be drinking, maybe even womanizing. They were not strict in the principles, but they did try to do some Krishna conscious activities. They tried to chant and so on, but they were not following the rules and regulations. Right? Okay. So, should we associate with these people, the Sahajas? Please read.
No, they bring good to the movement.
Right. So read that section here.
Maharaj?
Yes.
Hare
Please.
Krishna Maharaj. Their association changes the transcendental devotional service of Lord Krishna into sense gratification. And when sense gratification enters the mind of a devotee, he is contaminated. The materialistic person who aspires after sense gratification cannot properly think of Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 6.278 purport.
So their association, who are there? Who is it? Who's being talked about?
Sahajiyas.
Yes, Sahajas, non-devotees.
Non-devotees.
Right. So have to be careful that their kind of association, how it affects the mind. The Lord Chaitanya had one servant, Kala Krishna Das. And when Lord Chaitanya was in South India, they met a group of Sahajas, or tribal people, and they had young women with them, and they used young women to lure away this servant of Lord Chaitanya, Kala Krishna Das. He went off with these Sahajas. Lord Chaitanya had to rescue him. It's described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you have to be very careful. Prabhupada explains. Please read this quote.
Krishna Maharaj. Money is undoubtedly coming in great quantities, but we have not be attached to this. We should not be attached to this money for sense gratification. Every cent should be spent for spreading the Krishna consciousness movement, not for sense gratification.
Read more.
There is danger for a preacher when he receives great quantities of money, for as soon as he spends even a single cent of the collection for his personal sense gratification, he becomes a fallen victim. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.13.32 purport.
So have to be very careful. Money. If people are still got some material desires in their mind, in their heart, and they see money, they want to use it for their personal sense gratification. So that gives them a lot of problem. So we try to be very careful to avoid these things in the Krishna consciousness movement, but still sometimes it happens. Sometimes people are very not honest, or they're corrupted, they become tempted. So if you spend even a single cent, Prabhupada says, then you're fallen. So we have to be very cautious about using everything carefully for the service of Krishna. So this is why you have to be expert in pratigrinati, receiving, not an easy thing, to try to use everything. One devotee was the temple president, and Prabhupada wrote to him, he said, you spend money like a rich man's son. You know, if your father is a rich man, then you spend money very easily. So Prabhupada told him, he said, you're spending money like the son of a rich man. So here's the quote, how to use money. If you ever get money, print books. The Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It's a good way to use money. Use money to print books. Okay. Please read. Someone read.
Maya's
Krishna Maharaj.
attractive feature is women and money. We Krishna conscious men have to deal with women and money in the course of preaching work, and the only prophylactic measure to save us is not to accept them for our sense gratification. Then we shall remain strong enough. Materialistic people take everything for sense gratification, and Krishna conscious people take everything for Krishna's satisfaction.
Read more.
There is no fault in the thing as it is, namely women and money, but it becomes faulty by improper use. The improper use is to accept them for sense gratification. Letter to Gargamuni, October 18, 1969.
So
Hare Krishna.
these two things, the money and the women, opposite sex. So preaching work, you have to be very careful. Take everything for Krishna's satisfaction. So we ask you, the life of the Krishna conscious society is nourished by these 6 types of loving exchange among the members, right? So, how successful have we been? Please take a few minutes to reflect on situations from your devotional career in which you felt nourished by one or more of the 6 loving exchanges, or in which you felt starved. Affection between devotees decreased by exchanges that could have been within the realm of these 6 loving exchanges, but unfortunately weren't. Let's just go back here. And here at the top of the slide here, it says, ISKCON's success in facilitating 6 loving exchanges. How much have ISKCON been successful? Do you feel we've done enough? How are we doing in terms of these loving exchanges? What are some of our programs to facilitate loving exchanges? Can you Do you know any of the, do we have any programs to facilitate these loving exchanges?
Yes, Maharaj.
What?
Maharaj, as of right now, today evening, for few of our godbrothers, two families, due to corona pandemic, they have a serious crisis for their daily groceries. So I contacted with another godbrother, get some Lakshmi and buy groceries for them and giving them today evening. So they can offer, and both the families are initiated. And now today evening they can at least offer some nice prasad to Krishna and they can have prasad.
Okay, very nice. That's devotee care.
Yeah, today evening.
Devotee care because of the pandemic situation.
Yes.
Okay. Any other examples? What about ISKCON in general? What kind of regular programs do we have?
Marriage food distribution, prasadam distribution.
When? Do you have regular prasadam distribution?
Regular.
Huh?
ISKCON has
in our temple we have.
In the temple?
Yes, Maharaj.
When?
Like on Thursday evening, Friday evening, and Friday morning class also after the Bhagavatam class.
If anybody comes
And
to the temple, do they get prasadam?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj.
Everybody who comes to the temple,
yes,
anytime.
Yes,
Huh?
Maharaj.
Anytime.
Anytime. No.
Not just at the special time when you have the programs. I'm saying if they come anytime, do they get prasadam?
Yes, Maharaj.
if it is available, yes.
If it's available. Yeah. You know, Prabhupada's letter was there, right?
Yeah.
What Prabhupada wanted.
Within 10 diameter or year, no one should be remain hungry.
Always maintain 10 to 12 servings. Like
Where?
in the temple.
That's in the letter, but do you do that in the temple?
Yeah, in Balram District.
Yes, Maharaj, in the temple before pandemic, we used to get at least small quantity of prasad. Every time, even if you go morning or in the afternoon, you get something.
Yes.
Okay, good. So prasadam is going on in the temple. All right. Anything else?
Holy name.
You're giving the holy name?
Sankirtan.
Where?
At the temple also.
Only
also
in the temple? Only in the temple?
Outside also.
You go outside? You go outside and do
Go in public, but only when there is occasions like Bahrain for Lord, that time we do publicly, but otherwise actually within Bhakti Vrikshas and private places.
Yeah, of course, your special situation. You can't do, well, you're kind of legal there, Bahrain. Bahrain's open. You can do what you want. You could do it.
Yeah, we can do it. Still openly we don't.
But you could.
Maharaj, also in this situation now where we can't meet the devotees in the temple, we still try to be in contact with the friends, devotees, and share our secrets and share our joy and happiness and everything. So that is
Okay.
one of the loving exchange.
Uh-huh. You call your friends.
Yes, Maharaj. Devotee friends. Yeah.
What about somebody who doesn't have a friend?
Everyone will have Maharaj.
Does everybody have friends there? Is everybody welcome? You know, you've got groups. I'm sure you have groups.
Yes, Maharaj.
Does everybody have a mentor? Do you have a mentor program there?
Yes.
Yeah? Everybody has a
Yes.
mentor?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. So the mentor keeps in touch with all the people in the group.
Nowadays through Zoom, Maharaj.
Yeah, okay. Where's the mentor? The mentor's also in Bahrain?
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, presently means for us, yes, in Bahrain, Maharaj, and also in India, actually, then we do be in touch with through Zoom.
No, Maharaj, no, mentor that here was not in Balaram Desh, Maharaj.
Mentor not in Balaram Desh.
No,
You don't have mentors in Balaram Desh.
no, in that at least all these years I never heard that.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, we have Shiksha Gurus whom we consider as our mentor.
Oh, you have Shiksha Gurus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Temple president is also like representative as a mentor.
Okay. Is he taking care of all of you? Does he check up with you? Does he keep in touch with you?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. And daily japa session will be there, Maharaj, morning.
Oh.
5 to 6:30.
But Maharaj, one thing I can share with you for Bengali congregation. Yes, almost 73 initiated and Guru Astra devotees, and almost within 15 days, all of them will be checked. Of whose situation, how they are doing, what they are doing, if they have any problem, either in devotion or their prasadam facilities, any other problem, even quarantine, like few devotees, 4 devotees, out of them 2 are initiated, 1 was initiated, 3 of them Guru Astra, they are quarantined for 12 days. So among devotees, 10 families we conducted, and we have arranged each day 2 times prasadam for them in quarantine, in government quarantine camp. So this is how more than 10-12 days all 4 devotees has been taken care. We did not leave them even one single time without having Krishna Prasadam when they are in the government quarantine in completely isolated area. So this is, even in this situation, we have taken care of them.
Okay, good.
So this all, as I said, 73 Guru Astra and initiated devotee among Bengali congregation. All their things, within 15 days, everyone get checked. What is their situation? And like coming to Japa session, coming to Lord Darshan, and every Friday morning around 7 o'clock, 6:30. So we make sure. And every Friday evening, we have a online 6 o'clock classes, and we make sure everybody to attend. If someone is missing, we are taking like a attendance. If anybody missing, following the personally call them to find out why they could not attend, if there is any problem they faced. So even few of the devotees has a problem. As I said, we have arranged prasadam. Some of them even financially, some other financial aids also to given them. So yeah, because two things which is always we carry in mind, like our beloved Guru Maharaj said, wherever Krishna consciousness is not spread, try to preach there. And whoever has come to in Krishna consciousness, take care of them properly so they can be comfortable in their sadhana bhakti.
Okay, very good. So devotee care going on.
Very well, with all Guru Maharaj and all Vaishnavas' mercy.
So ISKCON has been quite successful, nourishing the loving exchanges, some ways, to some extent anyway. Giving prasadam, accepting prasadam, gifts, offering gifts and accepting gifts, and inquiring. Yeah?
And some other things also, Maharaj, we are going to introduce now. Even to give Srila Prabhupada books, whoever is literate, even to check with them whether they are reading or Prabhupada books to note, whoever has gone through that books, we will be checking with them. If you have gone through or if you read this book, okay, tell me one, like, okay, discuss or share your knowledge about this. So this is to make them understand and read all, slowly, gradually read all the books written by Srila Prabhupada.
Okay, very nice. Encouraging people to read the books.
Yeah.
Good.
And also this devotees, how even also you're taking it like this time, like when Chaturmas, it was been to be informed them to follow the Chaturmas, and then Damodara, then 1 month of Damodara month, and last this time Bhishma was 6 days in Balaram Desh. So among devotees has been split in such a 42 devotees they did Bhishma Panchamuk. And on last day, his Srimad Bhakti Vijay Bhagavat Swami Maharaj arranged the prasadam in Mayapur on last day. So this congregation, they have contributed Lakshmi in Mayapur to serve the prasadam 1200 devotees in Mayapur. So his Srimad Bhakti Vijay Bhagavat Swami Maharaj has arranged prasadam to even Srila Prabhupada's disciples, some sannyasi and other devotees. So this is how also been arranged as devotees in Mayapur.
Okay, I hope you're taking care of not just Bengali devotees. I hope you're reaching out to all the devotees, right?
Other devotee also from the temple side also been contribution gone to Mayapur for Vishnu Panchamuk time, and even also on Balaram Desh, congregation has arranged as per the instruction of Sri Srimad Jagataka Swami, Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, and Sri Srimad Bhakti Chandra Swami Maharaj before he left the body. Collection has gone for different temples in Bangladesh, India, and other places.
Yeah. Okay. So we're glad to know you're helping Bangladesh and India. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So then we asked you, we wanted to know also, did you have any bad experiences? Some where you felt sometimes you felt you were not getting enough affection, where there could have been better care. Sometimes it does happen. Maybe now, this time with the COVID, it's helping people to take more care of devotees. But what about regularly, before the COVID? Was there always that care? Was there always that affection between the devotees? Did you really reach out to try to help people? Sometimes, people come and sometimes a new person comes, nobody speaks to them. Sometimes they're just left alone. Some people not taking care of, sometimes people, maybe they have problems with their family, they have some problem in the family. They can't get along, husband and wife not getting along, they need help. Try to settle their problems. Sometimes.
Maharaj, Hare Krishna, again, I'm coming back to you on that, even before Corona pandemic, because I have been given assignment by temple president to take care of Bengali congregation, more than 200 plus devotees. So yes, before Corona pandemic also took part, we have a total 15, 16 Bhakti Vriksha all over Bahrain. So through this Bhakti Vriksha, the leader, even area-wise, we find out even among families, even they have a problem. Even sometimes some family, husband wants to take initiation, wife doesn't want to. So even we personally go and talk with them, understand them, we hear from both of them. And then among them, whatever the gaps are there, we try to bring them, close it, and then husband and wife can come forward together. Even in back home, if they have a problem, which is they are not getting support, we talk also with their families back home, wherever they are from. So in this way, we are trying to give them full confidence that if you come to Krishna Bhakti or if you are there here, we are always there to help you out as a one house, one family of Srila Prabhupada.
Okay, very nice. Glad to know the Bengali congregation's been well looked after.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Generally a big congregation. Yeah, we have a lot of people to take care of. More people means more problems.
Yes.
So we have to be willing to reach out and really try our best to take care of the devotees and look after them. Okay, we'll just look over what we talked about today. First of all, we discussed the relevance of this verse, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? The relevance that Krishna consciousness is in everyone. So everyone is a potential devotee, every living entity. We try to benefit all living entities. And the greatest benefit we can give, what's our biggest dadati?
Giving holy name, Maharaj.
Right, give the holy name. So broadly, loudly chant the holy name. Give everyone the chance to hear. And then the dati principle, you all want to give at least 50% of your income to Krishna. All right, when you get your business going and when you open up your factory, make a lot of money, then you're going to give 50%. Right? And then we talked about the qualification required to utilize everyone's contribution. Qualification is, what's the qualification?
He should be a pure devotee. He's
Yeah,
at
he
advanced.
should be an advanced devotee. Should have no desire for sense gratification. He should be faithful to the orders of the Srila Prabhupada and to the people behind running the temple. He shouldn't just do anything for sense gratification. That's important. And we've been discussing about how successful ISKCON has been in facilitating these loving exchanges. What about practical ways for increases within ISKCON? Practical ways we could do more, things like people may have health problems, try to take care of them, make sure they get proper treatment. It's important for this COVID-19. If they have the disease, they should get treated right away. Take medicine and isolate them. This kind of thing. Practical ways to increase loving exchange. We want to identify the different needs, take care of the children, programs for the children, programs for the youth. Some people have to get married, help them to make arrangements for marriage, get them settled in their family life. Some people no job, they need to get jobs. These different things. Okay, here's a quote. Somebody can read this quote from Bhakti Saraswati.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Actively love with devotees who are one of the same aspiration as oneself and who are affectionate to oneself exchange enhances one's bhakti, offering and accepting items, revealing confidential realizations to one another, and serving and accepting food are all activities that increase affection. One should not perform these activities with those of different aspiration in life than one's own. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his commentary, Anuvartiti. Haribol.
So one should not perform these activities with those of different aspirations. So that's his point, that you have one aspiration, you have to meet, just like the Prabhu he's Bengali, so he's helping Bengali people. It's easier for him. And you have to reach out to other people, then it's very difficult. Different aspirations in life than his own. But if you have the same aspiration, you have the same desires, same interests, then okay. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
So we'll stop here tonight. Unless there's any questions, anybody?
Just giving regular. giving charity to beggar, like you were mentioning about Prabhupada given some amount, and generally in life, actually, then we should give this or we should not give.
Well, time, place, and circumstance. Sometimes, you like that, you beggar comes, you can give 1 or 2 rupees, you give a few rupees, it's not a big deal. They're beggars, so you can give them like that. But sometimes in India, you give 1 beggar, 10 will come. And so many others will come also. It's a difficult thing to know what to do. Anyway, generally we don't like to give money to people. Generally, what we prefer to give is prasadam. If we give them some prasadam, we feel it's a bit better than giving them money, because you don't know what they're going to do. You give money to them. So if you give money, it should be very small amount. Don't want to give a big amount of money. Yes.
Okay.
Better to give prasadam if you have it. And even, I know when we'd come at Calcutta airport, sometimes there'd be children there, they would come, they would come just to say, do you have any prasadam? They'd come and ask us for prasadam. They know. Yes, you have a question? Any other question?
Maharaj, you said that there was in the verse was there that we should exchange some confidential information. So I just want to know some enlightenment. What is the meaning of that one, exchange of confidential?
Maharaj, can you please share this?
No, you have to wait, Prabhu. You have to wait. Somebody just asked a question. You please wait. We'll just finish one question at a time. So Prabhu wants to know what's a confidential inquiry. So confidential inquiry, we said, like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Rajavidya Rajaguyam. This knowledge is confidential. The topics of Krishna are confidential. They can only be understood by devotees. And so when we inquire, what are these confidential inquiries? This could be in relation to Krishna's pastimes. What's Krishna doing? Why did this happen? Why did Balaram kill this demon? Why not Krishna? That would be a confidential inquiry. Why did Krishna leave the rasa dance? Or why did Radharani leave the rasa dance? This would be confidential inquiries. Understand, Prabhu?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Okay. Prabhu, other Prabhu, what's your question?
Pranam Maharaj. Can you please share this Prabhupada Prasadam first? I missed to take photo. And Maharaj, this today's class, can you please share on the Facebook? Today it's not available. Today's class.
It's not available. I'm sorry, because my handphone, I couldn't get my handphone charged. I had a problem with my charger. But the class is being recorded, isn't it?
Yes, Maharaj. We are recording, Maharaj.
After class, normally I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't put it on Facebook because my handphone couldn't get charged. And I sent somebody today to get me the cable. They didn't come back. So my handphone is down. But fortunately, Prabhu's recording. So please can you send me the link? And we'll put it on the Facebook. Or we'll put it on the internet somewhere.
Okay, Maharaj.
Okay, somebody was, what was the Prabhu's question about Prabhupada and Prasadam?
Maharaj, Prabhupada's first slide, can you please share? Prasadam slide.
I can't understand what Prabhu is saying. Can somebody tell me what he said?
Can you please share the first slide which you shown, we read, but I forgot to take a photograph because I was reading.
The first slide, one slide. Huh?
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, first slide for Prabhupada. Prabhupada, there are 4 slides for Prasadam. At temple, we should give continuous Prasadam, that first slide. Today's class.
Okay, have you got it? Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, it's not visible Maharaj.
Huh?
Not sharing, actually, I think.
Not
maybe.
sharing, huh? You seeing my slide?
Yes, Maharaj, we can see.
Can you see?
Yes, Maharaj, we can see Maharaj.
Haribo?
Yes, Maharaj, we can see Maharaj.
Can you see the slide?
Yes, Maharaj, we can see Maharaj.
Now, what slide do you want to see then?
Maharaj, I think it's the only first slide Prabhu has said, actually, I think.
Huh?
His connection is not clear, Maharaj.
Yeah,
The Prabhu who has asked the question, he doesn't have a proper connection. We don't know which slide he wants to know. I think
Maharaj, it
There are
is
4
related to the
slides
prasadam distribution.
on Prabhupada's instruction regarding the prasadam distribution in temple. It
so
should
you
be
go
given
to the recording. You get it from the recording. It's all in the recording.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
His Holiness Bhakti Vikna Vinas Narasimha Swami Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai. Srila
Lord back to
Prabhupada Maharaj ki
Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for
Great.
your participation. We will meet next on the Friday morning, 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. So thank you.